Choosing the right table saw can make or break your woodworking projects, and with dozens of models flooding the market, it's easy to waste hundreds of dollars on the wrong one. I've pulled together expert test results from Pro Tool reviews, Bob Vila's hands-on testing team, and real-world feedback from professional contractors to bring you the 6 best table saws worth your money right now. Whether you're a DIYer tackling your first big project or a pro who needs reliable cuts every single day, this list covers every budget and skill level. All product links are down in the description. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 6, we have the Matabo HPT C10RJS. Now, if that name sounds unfamiliar, you might remember them as Hitachi power tools. Same quality, same engineering, different label after the rebranding a few years back. This saw packs a 15-amp motor spinning at 4,500 RPM, and here's what caught my attention during expert testing. It has a best-in-class rip capacity of 35 inches to the right. That's huge for cutting full sheets of plywood without constantly repositioning your material. The fold-and-roll stand is genuinely practical and well-designed. 8-inch rubber all-terrain wheels handle rough surfaces and uneven ground, and the whole thing sets up in minutes. The oversized table measures nearly 29 by 22 inches, giving you serious material support that smaller benchtop saws simply can't match. What I really appreciate is the soft start feature that brings the blade up to speed smoothly. No jarring recoil when you hit the power button. The electric brake stops the blade quickly too, which saves valuable time between cuts and adds a nice safety margin. The downside? That plastic mount for the rack and pinion fence feels a bit fragile for hardcore job site abuse. But at around $599, you're getting a lot of saw for the money. It's a solid entry point for serious DIYers who need portability without sacrificing capability. At number 5, the Ridgid R4518 offers something the others on this list can't match: a lifetime service agreement. Register this saw with Ridgid, and they cover parts and service for life. That's a pretty big deal when you're making a tool investment. This 15-amp saw runs at 5,000 RPM with a 27-inch rip capacity. The 4-second blade brake stops things quickly after you release the trigger, and the soft start motor protects your circuits from tripping on older electrical systems. User feedback is honestly mixed on this one, though. Some owners absolutely love the cast iron table and surprisingly quiet operation for a job site saw. Others report alignment issues straight out of the box, particularly with the bevel adjustment not hitting a true 45 degrees consistently. Here's the reality check. This saw requires some dedicated setup time. You'll want to square everything up carefully before making any precision cuts. The miter gauge is plastic and feels cheap compared to higher-end models on this list. But at around $350 with a folding stand included, it's really hard to argue with the value proposition. For homeowners tackling weekend projects who want that lifetime warranty backing them up, this one makes a lot of sense. Just plan on spending an afternoon dialing it in properly before your first real project. Number 4 is where things get really interesting. The Skilsaw SPT9911 brings legendary worm drive technology to the table saw world, and professionals everywhere are paying attention. That worm drive motor generates significantly more torque than direct drive competitors running the same amperage. What does that mean for your everyday work? Smoother cuts through dense hardwoods without the blade bogging down or slowing under load. Expert testing confirmed this saw maintains consistent speed even when pushing through pressure-treated lumber and thick oak. The specs are solid across the board: 358-inch depth of cut, 31-board 2-inch rip capacity, and those massive 16-inch wheels that handle stairs and rough job site surfaces like nothing else. Loading this saw into a truck bed is actually manageable, even by yourself. The precision rack and pinion fence system locks down accurately, though some users note it needs initial calibration. Once properly adjusted, it holds tight and stays square. Here's the trade-off: worm drive motors run noticeably louder than standard setups. You'll absolutely want hearing protection. The included miter gauge is also pretty basic, which seems standard in this price range. Running around $650, the SPT9911 targets professionals who need serious cutting power in a portable package. If you're framing houses or working construction sites daily, this worm drive torque is worth the investment. Taking the number 3 spot, the Bosch GTS15-10 represents a complete ground-up redesign from their popular 4100 series, and the improvements really show in everyday use. That 15-amp motor now hits 3,800 RPM, and Bosch bumped it up 150 RPM over the previous model for smoother cuts. The depth of cut reaches 3 to 9/16 inches, meaning you can slice through 4x4 lumber in a single pass. During expert testing at Pro Tool reviews, this saw maintained high RPMs without any chattering or wobbling through plywood, hardwoods, and construction lumber. The gravity rise wheeled stand is genuinely convenient. One-action setup and breakdown, 8-inch treaded rubber tires, and solid stability once deployed. Bosch also designed clamp zone areas on the tabletop, letting you use the saw as a secondary work surface. Pretty clever thinking. The electronically regulated speed keeps performance consistent under heavy load, and the soft start circuitry prevents tripping breakers in older homes. One quirk worth mentioning: the dust port uses a non-standard size. Expert testers couldn't get standard vacuum hoses to fit without tracking down an adapter. Priced around $649, the GTS1510 balances power, precision, and portability beautifully. Woodworkers especially appreciate that it accepts dado stacks, making it viable for furniture and cabinet work beyond basic construction cuts. At number 2, we're talking about the saw that could literally save your fingers. The SawStop JSS-120A60 Jobsite Saw Pro features patented safety technology that stops a spinning blade in less than 5 milliseconds if it contacts skin. We're talking about a minor scratch instead of a life-changing injury. But here's what surprised me. Beyond the safety system, this is genuinely a professional-grade table saw on its own merits. The 1.5 HP belt-driven motor handles hardwoods beautifully. Pro Tool reviews ran beech, oak, and maple through this saw and reported minimal vibration with smooth, confident cuts throughout their testing. The T-style fence with ergo-lock slides smooth and locks firm with just one touch. Table depth measures 24 to 5 or 8 inches, giving you more working surface than most competitors. That one-turn elevation wheel is surprisingly satisfying to use, raising or lowering the blade completely with a single rotation. The mobile cart uses a foot pedal for quick deployment, and those 8-inch multi-terrain wheels handle rough job site conditions. Onboard storage keeps your blade guard, riving knife, and miter gauge organized. Here's the catch: this saw runs around $1,599. That's steep for a job site saw. You're also buying replacement brake cartridges after each safety activation, running roughly $100 each. But think about it this way: one emergency room visit for a serious hand injury costs way more. For professionals running these saws daily, the SawStop represents genuine peace of mind backed by excellent cutting performance. And taking the top spot, the DeWalt DWE7491RS remains the table saw to beat in 2026. More than a decade after its original launch, it's still one of the highest-selling table saws on the market today. That kind of staying power tells you something important about this tool. The 15-amp motor runs at 4,800 RPM, delivering clean cuts through hardwoods, plywood, MDF, and everything in between. Expert testing at Family Handyman confirmed it handled over 50 cuts through various materials without missing a beat or showing any signs of fatigue. That rack and pinion fence system genuinely changed the game for job site saws when it launched. No more tapping and nudging your fence into position hoping it stays put. Dial it in with the adjustment wheel, lock it down, trust your measurements. The 32.12-inch rip capacity leads the entire job site class, handling full sheets of plywood without repositioning. The rolling stand folds compactly for transport and deploys quickly once you reach the job site. At 90 pounds total weight, it's definitely not light, but that heft adds stability during operation that lighter saws can't match. The tool-free adjustments for switching between the riving knife and blade guard save real time during actual work. Priced around $600, sometimes even less during holiday sales, this saw hits the sweet spot between professional capability and reasonable cost for most buyers. DeWalt backs it with a solid 3-year warranty too. The only real complaints? Dust collection could definitely be improved, and the saw lacks the soft start feature found on newer competitors. But for overall performance, build quality, and proven long-term reliability, the DWE7491RS absolutely earns that top spot on this list. So there you have it, 6 table saws that actually deserve your consideration in 2026. The right choice depends on your specific situation. Need maximum safety? The SawStop is worth the premium. Want proven reliability and industry-leading rip capacity? The DeWalt DWE7491RS has earned its reputation. Budget-conscious but demanding quality? Check out the Ridgid or Metabo. Links to all 6 saws are in the description below with current pricing. If this helped you make a smarter buying decision, drop a like and subscribe for more tool reviews. See you in the next one.